This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
All right, here we are on the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr, as usual, talking LowcoSports, sports across the South Carolina Lowcountry. We got Beaufort, Jasper, Hampton, and Colleton counties in our coverage area now, and looking forward to a big season of high school football coming up this fall, of course, Wes. But we're going to be talking a little semi-pro football today. We got some of the Hilton Head Sharks joining us today to talk about their upcoming season starting next week. With their big 8-4-3 bowl, I believe is what it was called. They got a new opponent for that. I was talking to them before the show. Going to take out a team out of Hartsville now, but they do have an opponent for that opener at home next week. So we'll talk to them about that a little bit and about the team and how they got here to play in semi-pro football on Hilton Head. But a lot of other news that we'll talk about later on in the show, including Brooks Van Esselston cleaning up with the USA Lacrosse Awards today. No surprise there. Going to go around the horn and take a look at some of the guys playing summer baseball from the Coastal Plain League all the way to the majors. We got it all covered from the Lowco this summer, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some more coaching news coming out of Hampton County, as well as some high school football news to talk about as well. And then we'll finally we'll talk about the Dixie Youth Baseball, Dixie Boys and Dixie Junior Boys state tournaments getting underway tomorrow at Oscar Frazier Park. But how you doing, Wes? I've been on my worldwide tour. I was in Cooperstown and then I was in Universal. Now I'm home for the duration. No trips for the foreseeable future, so it's back to the grind. But how you holding up over there, bud? I haven't seen you in forever.
I'm doing well. It must be great to be back here in the Lowco after quite a few travels up to Cooperstown and over to Universal to hang out for last weekend. But I'm doing well. Just kind of a storm coming through here as we're recording this, so I got some thunder in the area. But I'm doing well. I'm already getting pumped. We're about a month away from the start of high school football season. Having our first game a week earlier than the scheduled normal date because we got
week -1.
Yeah, we got Trinity Collegiate up against Beaufort Academy. So already counting down the days. So that's just almost a month away. But it's cool to have the semi-pro football also in the area to kind of get us pumped up for the high school season, and really cool to see those guys get some more opportunities, and I'm looking forward to talk to them. But I'm doing very well, and I'm excited to get back into the swing of things. Name some of our all area teams or all local teams coming out soon, and then the countdown will be on to get ready for previews and content for this high school football season, which is it's really exciting. A lot of coaching movement, a lot of programs that I expect to be well on the rise or stabilize up there, like Beaufort winning the state championship. BA is going to be another excellent team this year with all the additions that they've gotten these last few months. It's really exciting, and of course that region 7-4 opportunity to get. Bluffton's already they've been improving over these last 2 years with Hayden Gregory. It's going to be, and of course Hilton Head with Shike Thompson. May River with a new coach, but still a lot of optimism with how that program's been, improving over the summer. So I'm really excited. Just a couple weeks away, and we're gonna get right back into it with some high school football.
Yeah, I'm getting pumped. I've already been, typing in schedules and typing out preview capsules and stuff, getting ready for it. And I bet the guys we're about to talk to probably have some thoughts too, because I'm sure they follow the local high schools a little bit. Let's get the Hilton Head Sharks in here. We got Daryle and Ronaldo Mitchell and Kevin Brown joining us on the show. Welcome, fellas. And I know you've been working hard, getting ready for your season, but tell us a little bit, Daryle. I know you're the president of the Sharks, but tell us a little bit about the organization and what it's about and how you guys kind of came to find your way to operating it now for a few years and what you're trying to do there.
All right. Well, first off, Justin and Wes, thank you guys for having us. We've been around since about 2012. Me and my brother, we played football at Charleston Southern University. And when we got out of school, we really just wanted the opportunity to play. And we were like, well, until we can find one, let's just create one for ourselves. And that's kind of what the team came about. We're adult, full contact tackle football. Age ranges from 18 to our oldest guy is like in his 50s. And it's like I says, full 11 on 11 tackle football. And we've got a lot of talent. We play some talented teams. We travel a good bit. We've been down to Miami, Florida. We played in North Carolina. We play all over South Carolina, Georgia. So it's kind of a team. We've got different levels. Some guys just want to get off the couch. Some guys are looking for opportunities to, maybe they didn't get to play a lot in high school and they want an opportunity to show their talents. And some guys want to go to the next level. We've had guys, play a professional arena. We've had guys go overseas. Matter of fact, one of our guys I think you're familiar with, Justin Chad. Yeah. He was one of our original guys. I remember our first practice, it was me, my brother, Chad, and I think it was just us three kind of like, are we going to be able to do this? And 11, 12 years later, here we are,
Yeah, that's really cool to see how far this team, this group of guys have come and are able to, develop those friendships over the game of football and be able to play the game that you love for many more years, because sometimes the opportunities aren't as readily available in this sport compared to others in the football landscape. But, great for you guys to be able to build and cultivate this experience. And we got some big games on tap, including, I believe, in a week or so, you guys will be at the Nest to open your season. Tell me more about your home opener.
Yeah, so our home opener, we're hosting a bowl game. Semi-pro kind of has some similarities to college football. You've got league championships, but they usually play big bowl games in the spring and the summer. Most of them are in like Florida. There's a big one coming up in Atlanta, but we hosted our own probably the last couple years now. We played at Savannah State. We did one there. And now that we've got the opportunity to be back on Hilton Head, we thought it'd be a great opportunity to do one here. So it kind of serves as our season opener as well. We're playing a team out of Hartsville, South Carolina. They played in a league based out of North Carolina in this past spring, went to the second round of the playoffs. Matter of fact, they were a lower seed and had a upset in the first round. So they're a solid football team. It definitely won't be a cupcake for us, but we feel pretty confident going into it. We've been practicing solid for probably 2.5 months now. So we're feeling prepared. It's kind of like guys are like tired of like hitting each other and stuff, and we're ready to get after another opponent. So we're looking forward to it. We expect a big crowd. We've been doing a lot of promotion, and it feels good to be back in our home stadium. We hadn't played it there in over a year, so we're looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Yeah, you guys are gearing up for that. About how many guys do you have on the roster, and any names that people might recognize as former high school players in the area or guys that played in college? And then Kevin, tell us how you got to the team. I know that's a lot to throw at you all at once, but I want to get KB in there.
All right, I'll let Kevin go first.
All right, so I'm not really from around this area. I currently work over in Paris Island in Beaufort. I am a drill instructor right now. I'm currently on quota right now. So in my free time, I think I'd go ahead and get back to what I first loved, and which was football. So I have a little bit of collegiate experience. I used to play in the JUCO in Hudson Valley Community College. And then I went over to, at that time, a startup Division III school called Anna Maria College, where I played cornerback there. And currently right now I serve as the offensive coordinator for the Hilton Head Sharks. So I just saw their ad over at the boxing gym where I also fight at here in the Foundry. It just gave me an opportunity, and then I'm kind of grateful for it. Give me a chance to actually be a little bit creative in regards to playing and coaching football, and also more importantly, developing men. So
absolutely, not everybody has a drill instructor from Paris Island as their offensive coordinator either. So that you probably run a tight ship on offense. But how's that roster looking, Daryle?
Roster looking good. We got around 40 guys that we'll have dressed next week. And when we recruit, we kind of focus on Beaufort County, Jasper County, and Hampton County. So we've got guys from Hilton Head High, Bluffton High, May River, Jasper County High. We got a couple guys from Estill High School. So if you look at our roster, there will be some names that guys recognize. We had some guys that played like recently. What's Pope's last name?
Taquan Pope.
Taquan Pope. He went to Hilton Head High. Was a good receiver.
Jarvis Singleton from Estill. I don't know if y'all remember.
Yeah. He ended up going to South Carolina State. What's Zach's last name?
Norby.
Yeah, Zach Norby. He our leader on the line. He went to May River. So there are definitely some guys that played recently that you'll recognize for sure.
That's really cool to have those local guys, take the field together as one team and keep playing the game they love, keep playing football here. Tell me more about the structure of the season, the schedule, and some of the other opponents that you guys might be facing later on this summer and this fall.
Okay. All right. So we're a little unique for our level. We're fully independent. So like we were talking with Justin earlier, we're kind of like the Notre Dame of our level. We're not we don't belong to a league, but we affiliate with a few leagues. So with our level, most of the heavy parts of the season are in the spring. Most teams play in the spring. I think it has to do so they don't conflict with high school football as far as getting the field. So we play the majority of our games. Then we'll probably play about 8 games. And then like summer/fall, we'll play a lighter schedule. So it'll be probably like 5 to 6 games. And we try to stay more local in the summer. We don't travel as much. So we're playing this team from Hartsville. We're partnering with a league out of Georgia. So we're playing the Savannah Raiders. We got a home and home with them. We playing the Charlotte Bengals. So they're out of the Charlotte area. We'll travel to them. And then we're looking to probably add 2 more games in August that'll come from the league that we're partnering with.
Very good. And I know it kind of feels like European soccer in a way. Like you'll be in a tournament, for a month or whatever, and then it'll be the next season kind of flips over. It's just kind of here and there, which I think is kind of the nature of the beast when you got guys who are working full-time jobs and things like that. But talk to me just a little bit, Ronaldo. I want to get you in here too about just what this has meant to you guys to have this kind of fraternity and brotherhood where you can continue to play the game and I'm sure it has become a social outlet and a lot of other things for you. But just talk to me a little bit about what it's meant to you and what you've gotten out of it and kind of make the pitch, I guess, for guys who are on the fence about coming out and playing.
Yeah. So like my brother was saying earlier, when we got out playing college ball, we were just looking for another opportunity and, we made the opportunity. So, when we were still young, I mean, we were, fresh out 22, 23. But as we've gotten older, we were getting more enjoyment out of helping the younger guys out. Because we know, guys, we've been in that position. You didn't get the opportunity you wanted coming out of high school or maybe college. So you're just looking for another chance to get on the field. Also, like I said, just seeing those guys develop over the year, that's what we get enjoyment out of at this stage. And just like I said, we got big age gap from 18, like I said, to 53. And the skill level is different. Like we hear from guys, they'll reach out and be like, man, I haven't touched the field in 10 years. And I try to tell them, man, you're not the only one, just come out, practice with us, and most of the time, once we get the guys out there, they'll, fall in love with it over again, be like, a couple practices, one game, be like, all right, I can really do this. So, like I said, moving forward, for anybody that's, on the fence about it, like just come try it out because, as we've learned, you only get, a certain amount of opportunities. So you don't want to look back when you're, 50, 60 years old, man, I should have went out. I should have did this. You know, if you're still young enough, still able enough, you know, just come give it a shot. Think you love it.
You never know. It's never too late.
Amen.
I love that, especially some of those, guys up there in their 30s and 40s that the passion hasn't wavered and they just want to keep playing the game, and to see those young guys who are right there doing it, it just adds that extra spark. Makes them feel like they're in their 20s again, playing football, and it comes back quickly. I'm sure for a lot of them. But talk to me about Chad Malfris. He was kind of one of the pioneers who took himself to even more opportunities around the world to play football. So how has he been kind of an inspirational figure for you, and how do you guys have kind of connected over the years, and how has he kind of blazed the trail in this aspect of being able to continue to play the sports, and be able to see the world doing so?
Yeah, Chad is kind of like our brand ambassador. I mean, he is probably the guy that took this opportunity to the highest level. He's he was one of our original guys, like I said, and one thing we do that we feel like separates us from a lot of teams is we film all our games. We either film them or live stream them, so we've got that content. And Chad was probably one of the first guys we made a highlight for, and he literally took that tape and just took it and branched it to opportunities around the world, playing in Brazil, playing in Australia, playing in Europe, playing arena ball. Like, he really maximized it. And that's kind of what we talk to guys about, because, some guys just want to do it and they're fine staying at this level. But if there are other opportunities that you want, we tell guys, hey, we're going to do that for you. You're going to get great coaching. I'll let Kev, explain a little bit more what our coaching philosophies are. But, we've all been around the college level, so you're at least going to get that level of coaching. And we will, if you want the opportunity, we'll provide a platform to where you can take it to wherever you want to go.
Love it, man. Kev, talk to me about offensive philosophy a little bit. What are you guys getting into? You a creative guy? Are we going smash mouth? What are we doing? Tell me about some of your offensive weapons.
Well, it's no secret we like to run the ball, but we also like to maintain balance as well. I'm not trying to give up too much of the game here because, hey, we got a game coming up next weekend. But in regards to that, we do have a very athletic quarterback. We have great receivers, and we got some hog mollies up front, and we have a loaded backfield. So it's a, how can I say this? It's a lot to manage, but then there's also a lot that you can use as well. So it's just also just getting into that, where making sure that you're getting guys the amount of touches that they will want as well, but then also still maintaining the game plan as well too. And just also staying true to ourselves, which is pretty much smash mouth football, but also being balanced as well.
Have you guys been scouting of high school players? How much have you been able to watch some of the high school games and kind of, maybe do some recruiting and kind of ask guys that are looking for a opportunity to play if they don't have one, and even those guys who have finished their finished their college ball and are still around the area, be able to continue the sport that they've been competing for a while and to stay with it. So tell me about how you've kind of recruited and found guys who have been interested throughout the Lowco.
Okay, yeah, our main recruiting philosophy is like young and local. So we do follow all of the high school teams. Rivals.com is one of our best tools. We'll look at the rosters, and we'll try to keep up with guys. Either if they went to college and they seem to be in the area, we'll reach out. Or guys like we had a new lineman come out this past week. He played at Jasper County High, and we reached out to him. And he said he wasn't going to college. He wanted to stay in the area, pick up a trade, but he still wanted to play football. And he came out this week, and he really impressed us in practice. So that's what we want to. We want to keep the team local. We want guys that take pride in playing for the area, and we will create that opportunity for them. They got to come in, they got to work, they got to earn their stripes. but we will give them an opportunity. They just got to take advantage of it.
Is that my guy OG Simmons from Ridgeland?
No, his last name isn't Simmons.
They had a couple big dudes on.
Yeah,
they
got some big guys.
So.
He played center, and he played guard as well. Because matter of fact, he told me he went to a charter school in Ridgeland, but he was able to go to the high school and play. But yeah, he's a big kid. He's got to be at least 6'2". I say he's maybe 320, but he's like he looks built. Like he's not a heavy set guy. He can move. So we're looking forward to seeing, and he's got that attitude too, man. He was, we had to kind of rein him back a little bit because he's getting a little aggressive in practice. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting him out there for sure.
Well, Daryle, I think you were going to elaborate a little bit on the coaching philosophy earlier. So I'll let you say your piece there.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was just saying, like, we've definitely got a throwback philosophy. Like, we just believe in being physical. We believe in just pounding on teams and making them quit. We just feel like that's just the best way to win football. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I looked at Buford High and how they won the state championship. I don't think they completed a pass.
Nope. They didn't attempt one.
Yeah.
They didn't attempt one.
So you look at it, any level of football, I don't care, high school, college, pros, the most physical team most of the time is going to win. And that's what we pride ourselves on, is like, we set marks. We try to rush for at least 150 yards every game. But we usually go over 200. Like, we just keep at it, and eventually we'll start breaking some big plays.
Awesome stuff. Any more for these guys, Wes, before we let them get on with their Friday night?
You guys, it's been great to hear your story and learn about what you've been doing and how excited you guys are to start this season. For those who are interested in going to the game on Friday night, what do you know in terms of tickets and game time, and what should fans need to know for the big home opener?
Okay, I got it. Okay, so kickoff is going to be at 6:30. The gates will open at 5:30. We have tickets like pre-sale. Oh, you can go to Eventbrite. You can go on our website. You can purchase them now for $10, or you can get them at the gate. And we're going to have a limited amount of sideline passes for $35. But you have to purchase those at the gate. But as far as the game itself, we play NFL rules. So kind of, guys that are following it, the rules might look a little different. The high schools, the quarters are a little bit longer. But we'll have food trucks out there. We'll have some vendors out there. So it's going to be an event. It's going to be bigger than just a football game. So it's family friendly. Bring the family out. And just we appreciate all the support that we can get from the community. Like, we want to bring an exciting brand of football that everybody will be able to enjoy.
And we were talking earlier about some of the hiccups that come along with semi-pro football when you got a lot of people wearing a lot of hats. Sometimes the refs don't show up and things like that. So, the best way to make sure that stuff doesn't happen is show up and buy a ticket and support these guys and, help them build this league up, build their program up, and give us something to go do on a Friday night, when we can't wait for high school football. So thanks so much, fellas, for coming on to talk with us. Thanks for all you do to organize it. I know there's yeoman's work that goes into it to make it happen for these 40 or so guys that still want to do it. So props to you for putting in the work and creating that opportunity and keeping it rolling, even through COVID and everything else. Much respect. So thanks so much for coming on, fellas. Best of luck this season.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, sir.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more here on the Lowco Sports Lowdown.
Hey, Lowco Sports fans. This podcast and all of our grassroots local sports content are made possible by support from community sponsors, including Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate attorneys of Lowco Sports, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Our original sponsors are still among our greatest supporters. Ryan and Tiffany Mickelson are community pillars who will be in your corner no matter your legal needs. When you need legal representation, call on the attorneys who support Team Lowco. Call Mickelson Law Firm. Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, the official hospice provider of LowcoSports, and the only not-for-profit hospice in southern Beaufort County. For more than 30 years, the committed, compassionate staff at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry have been there to ensure your loved ones find comfort, honor, and dignity at the end of life. Because at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, it's not about dying, it's about living. Homegrown Home Inspections, the official home inspectors of LowcoSports. Jan Lucas and his team provide thorough, detailed home inspections aimed to ensure everyone goes into the transaction with open eyes and confidence. Jan would rather reveal an inconvenient truth than look the other way and provide reassurances that could come back to burn the buyer in the long run. If you're looking to buy or sell a home and need an honest, reliable inspector, call on Homegrown Home Inspections, official sponsors of LowcoSports. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of LowcoSports. If your business or organization has a website and you're trying to figure out what SEO is, you need to call on Denise and Dave Sinkovich at DDS Web Design. They'll provide a free consultation and do all the behind-the-scenes work to boost your search engine optimization and get your website found online so you can take your business to the next level. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of LowcoSports. American Wood Reface, sustaining sponsors of LowcoSports. Does your kitchen need a facelift? Before you start picking out new cabinets, give Ben and the team at American Wood Reface a shot. They can reface your existing cabinets to overhaul your aesthetic without the hefty price tag and reimagine your kitchen at a price point you can manage. Be sure to tell them Lowco sent you, because every referral helps support LowcoSports. 4M Metals, sustaining sponsor of LowcoSports. Got metal? Your roof might need it. Metal roofing advantages include better energy efficiency, weather protection, longevity, a more aesthetically pleasing design, and the product is all green. So if you've been thinking about a new roof, go metal. Let 4M Metals be the difference in your roof. Jay's Barbershop. It's the talk of the town and the place to be in Ridgeland. If you need your ears lowered, head over to Jay's for a fresh cut and great conversation with good folks. And tell them Lowco sent you. Local Pie, official pizza sponsor of LowcoSports. They sling some of the best pies in the Lowco, and my kids say the mac and cheese is the best around. Hungry? Hit up Local Pie, longtime supporter of LowcoSports. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, the official floor cleaners of LowcoSports.com. If your feet tell you your floors need cleaning, call on Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. They provide residential and commercial services, including cleaning carpet and area rugs, tile and grout, upholstery, curtains and drapes, mattresses, and more. But most importantly, they'll get those floors so clean, your feet will thank them. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. Hilton Head Prep is a sustaining sponsor of LowcoSports, and we tell you all about the Dolphins' athletic exploits. But did you know it's also the #1 ranked private K-12 school in Beaufort County and ranks in the top 2.5% of schools nationwide? Visit hhprep.org to see what Hilton Head Prep has to offer. Beaufort Academy is a sustaining sponsor of LowcoSports, and we love covering the Eagles. With a student-to-faculty ratio of 7-to-1 and an average class size of 14 students, Beaufort Academy could be just the educational solution you're looking for, with more one-on-one attention. BA has a strong history of working with the whole child to prepare each student for college and life. Check them out at BeaufortAcademy.org. Thank you to all of our sustaining and supporting sponsors for their support of LowcoSports.com. Go Loco!
All right, Justin, Jarrett, and Wes Kerr back here live on the LowcoSports Lowdown on a Friday night. And Wes, a couple more sponsors to shout out that haven't made it into the ad recordings yet, but new sustaining sponsors. After the game next week, the Sharks might go see our guys Ambrose and company over at Rooted Living Wellness, the official chiropractor of LowcoSports, get cracked up and adjusted and back in shape for the next game. And for those of you who celebrated a little too hard this week, go see my man Max at Prime IV and Wellness, now open in Belfair Town Village. They'll get you pumped full of all the fluids and vitamins and energy supplements that you need to get recovered and feel refreshed and rejuvenated and like yourself again, and start feeling like a champ, an All-American like Brooks Van Esselstyn, the USA Lacrosse All-American, and also awarded the Bob Scott Award for service, recognizing one player from each area of the country who goes above and beyond in service to his team, school, and community. And we've talked a lot about all Brooks's accolades and, a National Merit Scholar. The list goes on and on. Certainly, there's no surprise when he's honored in any way. But definitely when you get 2 awards at the USA Lacrosse National Awards, that's a pretty big deal. All-American and the Bob Scott Service Award. Just another line on the resume for the great Brooks Van Esselston.
And that resume is growing and growing because I'll tell you what, not just was he a high caliber player on the field, but one of the best examples of a true student athlete, all caps and athlete, because he did it all and was tremendous in the classroom, National Merit Scholar. And on top of that, I mean, he was incredibly, dedicated to helping people from all over the community. And he was always at the forefront of taking part in these service projects and taking time out of his free weekends, or even taking time when he's, maybe has an opportunity to train to, help others. And that's a young man we can all learn from. That's going to be a major loss in so many different areas for May River. What an amazing young man. Of course, I mentioned his just outstanding work in the classroom, but of course, stand out in the field, 57 goals, 41 assists during his senior year with the May River Sharks. He was the quintessential student athlete, and I don't think you can find a better example of someone who has, that excellence in every area as a young man. It's just really impressive, and to get not just 1 award nationally, but 2 national awards in one evening. That is extremely special and extremely well-deserved. He was also the MVP of the North-South All-Star Game this past spring. So, someone who has continued to put the feathers in his cap, and I think a lot more accolades are coming as, he gets transitioned to the next level. And, he was an absolute joy for us to interview and for us to speak to throughout his high school career, and definitely someone we'll get back on the pod again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, such a breeze as an interview. He's like a dream interview. He knows what he's doing. Like, you just start him and he just talks about whatever you wanted to talk about. That's who he is, though. I mean, he would just sidle up to me at a baseball game or a wrestling match or whatever and just start talking to me about whatever. And he can talk easily about any subject. He's going to do great things. And we talked about that he intends to go into the service after his time at Florida Tech. So, expect to see great things from Brooks. Let's not forget that he was a really good basketball player, tremendous defender. I mean, had to lead the world in charges taken. And if you don't think he would have been a lockdown linebacker if he chose to play football, you don't know him, because he would have been an absolute beast on the football field if that was what he chose to do. But lacrosse was the path for him, and he's been able to navigate that path to the next level, and going to get a great education and go on to do great things in life. So much love to Brooks Van Esselston, and an all-time great, a LowcoSports legend for sure. We'll put him in the Hall of Fame someday. But let's talk a little baseball, Wes. Going around the horn here, we got a lot of guys to talk about. We'll start with Carmen Majinski, because he did pick up his first MLB win in relief the other night, I believe against Milwaukee, if I recall correctly. He also got a hold. He had a really good week. He had like 4 consecutive scoreless outings. Haven't checked in on him since then, but he seems to be adjusting quite well to the big league level and to his role in that bullpen, and having some success. I think he's going to stick.
I agree. He has been rock solid really ever since he got the call. Maybe had that one shaky outing where he took the loss in that first week. But other than that, he has been spectacular. You mentioned his first victory back a week ago to this day, June 30th. He pitched clean final 2 innings, and then Carlos Santana with a walk-off 2-run homer as the Pirates scored 3 to walk it off against the Milwaukee Brewers to give Carmen that first win. Man, how hyped he must have been in that dugout when Santana hit that walk-off.
Right.
Much better than that for your first major league win, doesn't it? That's it.
No, that's epic. Absolutely epic. That is epic. Yeah, he did give up a couple unearned the other night. But then he had another scoreless outing last night against the Dodgers. Not last night, on the 4th. So, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive outings with no earned runs. which is, certainly that's kind of the mark for a big league reliever. If you can, right. If you can come out and give us a clean inning, I mean, give us a 0. That's huge. You're going to keep getting the ball. And, I said, I think he's going to stick. We all know he's going to have a career in the bigs. That's kind of foregone conclusion at this point. But what I meant by that is I thought that he might kind of be on the shuttle back and forth between Pittsburgh and Indy the rest of the season. But I think there's going to be other guys who are better candidates to option. I think he's going to stick around for the duration, maybe. So we'll see what happens when guys get healthy. And certainly if he hits a bump and they want him to go work on his off-speed pitches a little more or something, then they'll run him down to Indy and do that. But he looks very much the part of a big league reliever right now, and I think he's going to be there for a long time.
Yeah, he's definitely proved it. You look at, like I said, with just this control and minimizing those walks, 8 strikeouts to 3 walks, a 2.6 ERA in a small limited sample size in relief at major league level. I mean, what a spectacular start from Majinski, and we kind of knew that he could have had that in him. I even better than I expect. I thought there were going to be some big time bumps, and there definitely are for a lot of guys who make that jump to the big leagues coming up from AAA, but he has really fit in a solid role. He comes in late in the game, 7th, 8th, and he gets it done. He puts up the 0, like you said. His fastball is hitting 96. He's locating it really well. He likes the upper part of the plate, and he may need a little bit more work on his breaking ball and his changeup. But we've seen the ability when it's on, it can be nasty, and he has shown that a couple times so far in the big. So. You couldn't have asked for a better start to his, career in Major League Baseball. And I think he right now, if he keeps this up, you're definitely looking at him having staying power for the rest of this season and into the future for this Pirates organization. So obviously a long way to go. It's definitely, hitters will they'll adjust to what they see, and it's definitely can make it tougher sometimes for pitchers to continue that little success, but so far so good at the highest level of baseball for Kerr Majinski.
Absolutely, and not the highest level of baseball for Darren Horn, but one of the highest levels of collegiate summer baseball for sure, up in the Cape Cod League this summer, and he is off to a really good start in the sense that last week he had the top 5 highest spin rate pitches in the entire league. They were all sliders. They were all over 3,268 RPMs, topping out at 3,369. And I'm trying to find the tweet for comparison here. But the highest average spin rate of an MLB fastball is Joe Musgrove with a 2580. The highest for a slider is Graham Ashcraft with a 2855. Horn is throwing almost 500 RPMs higher than more than 500 RPMs higher than Ashcraft's slider pretty consistently. So we're talking about a big league plus slider that Darren is throwing up in the Cape this summer, which is pretty cool stuff to think about on that perspective.
Yeah, you look at the potential of what he can bring there with that slider and just the nasty movement he's developed with that pitch so far. As he continues out his college career, and certainly that's a great sign as he continues in this process. But to be offered an opportunity to play in the Cape, which is probably by most people the most prestigious summer college baseball league. There's definitely a lot growing. The Coastal Plain League has definitely increased its reputation over the years, and we continue to see a lot of strong talent go over there. But the Cape has historically been the best summer league. And to be able to put on that kind of a performance and to have that kind of stuff to fool some really good hitters at that Cape Cod League, that says something about Darren Horn and just his ability to implement, continue to tinker with this stuff. And it's definitely working for him so far. And see if he can continue to translate that into the rest of his career in Coastal Carolina and see where it goes from there. So, that's a really cool stat. And it's always cool to see. One of the things I like about baseball is all the different intricacies, all the different stats that they have nowadays with the spin rate, with the exit velocity, and player teams can use it to their advantage. So just really cool to see all that be able to be tracked and for players and teams and fans to to take use of.
Well, and I love that somebody's like tweeting it out, like somebody's actually like going through TrackMan and pulling that data and tweeting it out. Thank you for that. Whoever's on that internship this summer, the analytics internship, that's wonderful. Very grateful for that. But like you said, I mean, you can compare across levels with that kind of thing from TrackMan. So it's really cool. We've tracked down a couple other guys playing summer ball. James Lehman, former May River guy at Wofford now, playing for the Western Nebraska Pioneers. He is hitting 316, 552 on base, 368 slugging through 12 games. So off to a good start swinging the bat. Rogue Wallace, Buford guy, then went on to Spartanburg Methodist, now signed with Presbyterian for next year after 2 years at Spartanburg. He is slashing 325, 378, 550 in 47 plate appearances for the Boone Bigfoots in the CPL, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs, and actually got a little Oppo Taco queued up for us here from Rogue Wallace. Looking good with the long red locks. Another one of our Lowco Ginger Hall of Famers, along with Brooks and Katie Ryan, AC Lang, many Lowco Ginger Hall of Famers. Look at Rogue. He is a beast, dude. He is a beast.
Absolute beast to play. And, it just takes me back to a fantastic series that we had a couple of years ago between Buford and May River in the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
Got to see Rogue Wallace, got to see James Lehman, got to see Darren Horn. Now look to see where all those guys have come. It's fun. It's fun to see the development and both those guys slashing over, 300 average, and Lehman, with his ability to, hit for slugging percentage and just get on base. Same thing with Rogue Wallace. I mean, it's been impressive to see the development of these guys and these couple of summer leagues where you have a lot of competition, and it definitely separates the cream of the crop from maybe the next group sometimes. So it's great to see them both having success here, on these summer league teams, and you can sometimes you can build momentum off of that. You get to go against some of the top guys, and that helps you build as a player when you get back to your school and go into fall ball and then get ready for the next season. So really impressed by both of those guys. Lehman with the terrific heritage with his family. He was a three sport star over there at May River, and great to see him to follow his his vision of continuing his career in baseball, and just a superbly athletic young man who's has always had that drive, dedication as well. But to see these statistics where they are, that on base percentage for Lehman, 552. That is
he's walking a ton. He's walking like more than once per game, which is a really good sign for me if he's seeing quality pitching. And I looked at some of the rosters. It's decent. It's not the Cape or the CPL, but it's college guys, and the fact that he's drawing a lot of walks, I think, is a really good sign for him, because he needs to do that. That's the guy he needs to be. He's really good on the bases. I think he's got 8 steals in 12 games or whatever too. So, that's what he needs to be in the lineup at Wofford. And I think that's one of the great things about summer ball too, is your college coach can tell you, hey man, we really like you. We need you to do this better. And you can go play summer ball and work on that and try to get better at that. And, I obviously don't know what James's his marching orders were going into summer, but if you're getting on base at a 552 clip, that's a good sign for me as a coach. When you come back, I'm like, all right, you are finding a way on base, and that's what we need you to do. So let's shift gears a little bit, Wes. We said last week that we saw on Twitter, Hampton County named Chris Knight as their baseball coach and joining the football coaching staff as well. They made it official with Anthony Elam as the girls basketball coach. He was the coach of that Wade Hampton girls team that had a great run last year. This was kind of foregone conclusion, I think, because Livingston coached the girls for Estill. He's already moved on to Edisto, where he'll be the football coach. And I think he's got girls basketball as well. Roman Singleton going with him up there. They're kind of a package deal. They're running mates. But Elam taking over that girls basketball program. Really, it's not taking over so much as just sliding, putting on a new shirt. But I love the energy that guy brought throughout the season, especially that playoff run at Wade Hampton. He seems like a great leader to me, and I'm excited to see what he can do with putting those two programs together.
And I think it's good to keep Elam, who had some heck of a success over there at Wade Hampton, and just to have that continuity now at this new school, to have that same coach. I think that it's important to keep that continuity going. And Elam was outstanding last year for that Wade Hampton high school team that definitely turned some heads. And he's been around there since 2015, also coaching basketball and track and field over at Ridgeland. So he's someone he's been a lifer around here throughout the Lowco these last few seasons. His commitment and dedication to growing the teams around him and to have those innate qualities to make teams better. It's not easy, but Elam has certainly fit the role, and he's shown that leadership to ignite and propel a program forward. And we talk about it a lot, but man, not only am I excited for the start of football season at Hampton County, but these basketball teams. We saw the boys over at Estill with Hampton, both with fantastic seasons. And the girls are right there. And there's going to be a lot of talent coming back on that Wade Hampton team, and some Estill girls who will transition to from wearing the red and the green to wearing the light blue of the Hampton County Hurricanes. So these hires have all been very strong so far. And it's only about another month from now until we start to cover this Wade Hampton Hurricanes football team, and then before you know it, we'll be getting in the gyms and covering some hoops. So really excited to see what happens here. I think Elam is a great hire. We've seen him prove before here in the Lowco, and I think he's going to be a great man to get this new Hampton County program off the ground and to really just continue the momentum that we've seen from those two schools joining to become one.
Yeah, and I have a lot of faith, as I've said before, in Rob Hanna, just getting to know him over the past year or two, and the guy he is. I have a lot of faith in his vision for the athletics department there and his ability to bring it together. So I am very bullish on Hampton County for sure, to say the least. And let's talk about a football recruiting offer. This is a little change of pace. Usually when we talk about football recruiting, we're talking about guys we've been covering for a few years, but this is a guy we haven't really covered yet because we don't really get into the middle schools, and he's coming in as a freshman. But Amari Patterson coming in, he was at Ridgeland, Jasper County in the middle school last year. He is now going to be at Beaufort High School, incoming freshman. Just got an offer from New Mexico State, and actually have a little bit of video of him here from his dad, who we've known for a while, Antoine Patterson from the Country Kids Foundation. His nephew, J.R. Patterson, we knew at Thomas Hayward. Here we go. Amari got a little downfield threat. Not a whole lot on the coverage there, but Amari is a guy who is a track star. He is the real deal. I mean, I've seen enough video of him over the years to know that athletically, and I've seen him on the track, so I know athletically he is the real deal physically. Now we get to see what he can do at the high school level, but obviously turned enough heads to get a D1 offer already, so that's a good sign.
If you're getting a D1 offer as a freshman, you have to have some strong innate qualities that they believe will transfer to that next level, and we've seen him as a track star already. Especially in the 100 meters and the 4x100 dominating qualifier from the South Carolina High School League and the State Track and Field Championships. So this is a guy that has already proven his athleticism during middle school on the track, and we're going to see that translate very soon to the Beaufort High field, and I think that's going to be a problem. Now, obviously, there's a lot of transition to do to get to the game speed that the high school football level is, but I think it's going to be a quick transition for Patterson as we progress towards his career. I think there's a lot of potential. I think they could put him in a lot of different spots, list him as an athlete. Obviously, he can have that speed and athleticism to put over there at receiver and kind of see where he goes from there. But someone who might start out as more of a special teams guy, and then kind of see where he could fit. Definitely possibility he could slide in that defensive back, slide in that wide receiver, put him out at running back. A lot of different options where he could go. You never really know at this point, but the talent, the raw talent's there. He's certainly got some pure speed, agility out there on the field that can translate to a lot of different positions. So very early to tell where we're going to go with Patterson, but certainly there's a lot of excitement, and rightfully so, because he's definitely looking the part of someone who's going to show out in the Friday Night Lights very soon for the Eagles.
Yeah, and as if we learned anything about Bryce Leiber in the last few years, it's a couple of things. One is he's not afraid to throw a freshman out there. If they got the goods, he will let them learn on the job and take his lumps, knowing that it's going to pay off in the end. I mean, think back to Tyler Haley when you put him in at quarterback. Think back to last year they had a couple of guys, Jaden Andrews. Was he the freshman? They had a couple of freshmen that played significant time on defense. And by the end of the year, they were not freshmen anymore. He's not afraid to do that. And he's not afraid to move guys around. I mean, Colton Ferris, what was he last year? What position did he play last year? Casey Fields, what position did he play last year? So if he sees a need and he sees an athlete who can fill it, this ain't rocket science. It's football. You can teach them how to do a job.
Put your athletes on the field
in a few weeks. Yeah, and so
there's going to be room.
They'll find a way to. If he makes them better, he'll be on the field and somewhere, and they'll find that spot. So really excited to see him. There's also a freshman kid that coming up at Bluffton. Saunders kid that has been on my radar for years. It's you never know what to make when kids make high or youth All-American bowls and things like that, but you take note of it and you go, this guy, I need to remember his name, Jacoby Saunders, freshman running back linebacker guy coming at Bluffton. That I think we're going to want to know that name as well. And I'm sure there are plenty of other freshmen. Max Prep's video just got me for the second time in the show. Max Prep's autoplay video, a favorite here on the Lowdown. But yeah, we got some freshmen coming, and that's one of the most exciting things about a new season is, that we know most of the guys who are going to be impactful players, but there's always a few that slip through that you're like, whoa, where did that guy come from? And it's always fun to watch those pop up the first couple of weeks and then see which ones are the real deal, which ones stick around. So going to be fun, but a little more baseball before we get into football season. We got some state tournaments this week in Bluffton, Dixie boys and Dixie junior boys. So that's the 14 and under and the 13 and under. 14 and under is a robust bracket. We got 11 teams, including the Beaufort County host team, which should be pretty strong. Danny Morgan coaching that team. He's got a good bunch of the guys have been on his Waves team for years. Many of them are also on his Hilton Head Christian Academy JV team. So he's got a good core there, but he's got players from throughout the county. So should be a really strong squad. And in the 13U, there's just not a lot of kids. Most leagues don't have enough to put together 13 and 14-year-old all-stars. So just 3 teams in that one. The Beaufort County host team, Jason Cotter's got that one. He had the Waves 13U for what would be 13U now, up through 12. So he's got a few kids he's familiar with. He's coaching at JP2 now. So going to see a lot of guys that are going to be playing high school ball here in the next couple of years that you're going to want to know, and a few that you already know their names a little bit. Jackson Riley was the number 1 catcher at JP2 this year, and he's on that 14U team. So, you'll see some names you already know, and definitely some you're going to want to know in the next few years. And I'm looking forward to going and watching the big boys play after watching the younger guys.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's crazy how close and how quickly it goes from the end of Dixie youth baseball, Dixie boys, and all of a sudden these guys are playing high school baseball. So it's a very quick transition, and it kind of separates who's gonna be the real deal at the next level, and who's got the talent to thrive and be that clutch guy in a tournament-based setting like this. This is where we kind of start to find that out. So I'm excited. A great opportunity for these guys to kind of build their competitive muscle against some strong talent around here and look to punch their ticket to the World Series next month. And then so that's going to be right here, the state tournament over at Oscar Fraser Park. But there are other teams competing for a spot in the World Series in the lower levels, including that Ozone team that I got to to see, and UC as well win that championship over at Oscar Frazier last month. I thought that team looked the part of a group that could compete in the state championship tournament, which I believe will kick off tomorrow morning over in Moncks Corner. Hilton Head will play Midland. 12 teams in that bracket. I expect it to be a tough test. Expect to see a gauntlet of teams that they'll have to take down, especially that Moncks Corner side, which has always been so strong throughout the age groups. But, the Hilton Head team, they get a couple of boppers top of that lineup. Espinoza has been the big bat, but the pitching has been solid as well. So if you can get some good production over there from your pitching depth, which is so important at this level, and, continue to see the offensive success that we saw at the plate, it's all about who can stay hot. And if you can manage your pitching well and kind of be able to preserve some of your best guys to bring them back later in the tournament, you could have a chance to go the distance and look to punch your ticket in the World Series. So I'm really excited for that Ozone team to see how they do over in Moncks Corner.
Yeah, you said Moncks Corner. If that is the team that travels as the Berkeley Baseball Club, which it was when we were 10. I don't know if it still is when we're 12, but if it is, that's Landy Cox's team, the Berkeley High School head coach, and they are a really good team. And it'll be you got to play good baseball to beat them. You're going to have to be really fundamentally sound. But that Hilton Head squad is very good. I suspect the Mount Pleasant team will be a problem. The Midland team, actually, they were good in 10U as well. So if it's that same group, they're strong too. I want to say they're basically a travel team too. Now, none of the kids from Bluffton who were on our 10U All-Star team played rec ball this year. So I don't know if those are the same groups that we went up against 2 years ago. But if they are, that Moncks Corner team is a doozy. Hartsville's got some real bats. Sumter had a couple of guys. We played them at state, actually. Mount Pleasant, there's a lot of talent up there. I don't know who all plays rec ball, but there's a lot of talent up there. Union is always good. So, it's going to be a battle. I mean, you get to that state tournament, it is a battle all the way through. You want to stay in the winner's bracket as long as you can, because once you get in that loser's bracket, it's tough business. Tough business with those elimination games. Luckily, it's only one a day usually, so you can battle through that. It's a lot tougher when it's 3 or 4 in a day and you got to keep fighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be a great tournament. If we didn't have a state tournament in our backyard this weekend, it would almost be worth a trip up there on Monday if Moncks Corner and Hilton Head hook up. That could be a good time. But yeah, lots of good tournaments going on. And who else do we have? I believe we got
the couple of different age brackets. The AAA, also Hilton Head will be competing in that one, and then I believe Coach Pitch as well.
Yeah, you're right. Hilton Head in all of them. Hilton Head, St. George in the AAA. That's not till the 15th. That starts next week.
That's not till the 15th, but
so we got
tomorrow.
A little time on
the Coach Pitch does start tomorrow against Clinton.
There we go. All right, yeah. So we're getting after it. State tournament week for Dixie baseball. Good times. Looking forward to kicking back and watching a little bit of that, getting out the camera and try to get some action shots of the future stars from the Lowco here this week. But good times, Wes. Well, what are you getting into? What'd you get into for the holiday, and what are you getting into this weekend, buddy?
Yeah, well, I got to head over to the beach, watch fireworks, eat some good food, all that kind of stuff. It was a nice July 4th, and I'm excited to I'll be just hanging around here on the island, but in a few weeks I'll be heading over to Boston to see some family, which will be really nice. Up in New England, up in Rhode Island actually. So I'm excited to see some family and to just get a little bit of R&R up there, because it's really beautiful, especially during the summer. Close to Cape Cod area, but also a little bit south of that over Rhode Island. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds lovely. I enjoyed my time up north for sure, and then I went straight to Universal where it was 97 every day. So that was mistakes were made there, but it was a good time nonetheless. And you get into a Sox game? Not this time.
We'll see. Yeah, the one I went to last year was pretty cool. We got to see a walk off of the Red Sox, but
that's right.
See if we can make it back to Fenway, but. It's really cool that up over there. I've got a lot of family up over in Boston, over in New England, and it's just so pretty during this time of year. And I haven't been on the coast before. I've been to Boston, but I haven't been, over to Rhode Island and, right near the water. And from what I've heard, it is very, very beautiful over there. So I'm going to do some kayaking, go out in the water. Going to be a lot of fun. And get ready for some high school football. It will be here before you know it. And we'll be here on Friday nights giving you all the coverage of everything that's going down here throughout the Lowco and beyond.
Can't wait. And we are looking for correspondents to help us get the lowdown from all the games we can't be at on Friday nights. Jump on the show with us, get the recap going. So if you're interested in taking part in that, being part of Team Lowco on Friday nights and giving us a report on your team's games when we're not there, we would love to talk to you about that. And all you're going to need is a stable internet connection around between 11 and 12 sometime on Friday nights, and we'll get you in here to talk high school football with us and maybe even get you on the preview show to help us preview your games as well. But we'd love to have more correspondents who are following their teams week in and week out and can really give us that insight and expertise. But thanks so much to the Hilton Head Sharks and best luck to those guys this week. I'm going to try to get out to their game next Friday. Sounds like a good time and definitely want to support them and what they're doing. Really a cool thing. I mean, I've mentioned I play in the Beaufort County Adult Baseball League, and it's an awesome thing that the guys have done who have organized that. And it sounds like the Sharks are very much the same spirit in the sense that, we also range from 18 to 50 something and skill levels are all over the place. We got people who played in college and we got people who, couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. And I'm much closer to the latter than the former. And I still have a good time and contribute to the team from time to time. So, if you play some high school football, I'm sure you can get out there and contribute to the Sharks and feel that adrenaline rush one last time and be a part of that team environment and just play football and be in there with your brothers. Get in touch with them. We'll be happy to connect the dots, but you can visit their website. Just Google Hilton Head Sharks. You'll get there. They got all the info on there. Daryle and Ronaldo doing a great job of holding that thing together all these years. So shout out to them. Shout out to all of our sponsors. Thanks so much for making it all possible. And thanks most of all to those of you who showed up to listen or watch. We keep doing it because you keep paying attention. So congrats, I guess. Thanks. Sorry to everybody else. Those of you who pay attention, you make us keep doing it. And I don't know, maybe some people don't like that, but whatever. It's been a good time, Wes. Enjoyed hanging out with you on a Friday night. And until next time, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.